Have you ever spent hours and hours and hours on something and then realized it's not what you wanted and you've got to do it over again? Is it a failure? It isn't, is it? It's not a failure. It's a learning opportunity. It's a chance to try and try again. And I love those types of opportunities. Let's talk about this piece. First of all, am I the only one who likes to look at my artwork sideways to see how high a dot I managed to get? And I love to just run my fingers over that final piece and just feel that texture. I love that this artwork has some texture to it with this acrylic. I've already varnished the piece and I managed to get some really plumpy dots. And let me tell you what, I love a big juicy dot like that. You can see this piece that I have in the corner actually is a full 20 millimeters, maybe 20 millimeters squished out here in the corner. And actually this one as well on this corner is more than 20 millimeters. It's because I had a concentric circle that I think I ended up just pushing the 20 millimeter tool until I could get as much of the right curved circle as I wanted. This piece was a test piece for a bigger picture concept that I want to apply for my own home decor. And I had a lot of teals and in that room, and so I thought this would be great as an accent to that. Here's the challenge. First of all, I wanted to have shades of teal. And so you can see I started out with the Deco Art Metallic Teal, and then I shaded it down with 3 other shades by including Deco Art Metallic Pearl. I underestimated how much paint I would use with a project this size. It's a lot of paint, and I went through my larger paint pots with this particular project. So by that, I'm referring to these pots here. You can see these are the larger ones with the silicone tops. Love these. If you haven't seen my other video, I even talk about how I love to, label these with a label maker because they do keep pretty well. So you could, hold on to them for quite a bit of time and refer back to that paint for another project if you need to. Because I know I'm going to have to remix paint, I'm not very good at being consistent in matching the colors of the mix. So this is going to end up being a test version and not part of the final set of 4 panels that I'll use to create a 24 by 24 mandala. This is 12 by 12. The final piece will actually probably have some spacing in between each panel, so it could be as much as 25 by 25 by the time you put an inch here and an inch here. So I'm off to test across all the different paint brands I have that have shades of teal, maybe blue, to achieve the same concept, but with paint I don't have to mix to get the shading right. Here's some of the other challenges I had with this piece. Part of the challenge I had with this piece is that these inner petals ended up having a little bit too much weight at the top. So you can see they've got this sort of top-heavy effect to them. Not our normal delicate touch with a more pointy petal. And then I came up with this design, and I really like the concept, but I needed better execution. And what that means is I need more guidelines, which is doable. Essentially what I'm pictured was an increasing color going in from the outside, going out to color, and then coming back down to a white. And you can see my spacing is off as you go across the different ones at times, and I tried to overcompensate for it by top dotting on top of them to kind of account for the difference in spacing, but it still proved to be a bit of a challenge. Not really a problem now that I know what the issue is. In the future, I can simply create concentric circle guidelines that are differing in various sizes. Let me show you the tool I would use for that. For another project I did called Green Lacy, we purchased these Mr. Pen circle guides, and you can see it goes down really pretty small. And this particular one goes all the way up to 1 7/8 of an inch at, no, I take it back, 2 1/4 inches over here on this side. And it's a twofer because it also comes with these really, really big circles, right? So I love this concept, and if I'd planned it out better, I would have used this. So you can see how you can certainly create the outline of the circle you need here. But what I could have done is I could have then also put additional guidelines as I was trying to go into the center, just to keep my sizing appropriately, to keep my concentric variance out here appropriately aligned, and get that swirling method down. Some people can do that just by eye. I'm not one of those people, and that's okay. With the right tool, you can do anything really. And if you think about it, this corner piece had the same problem. You can see that I had this kind of edge to what should have been a smoother sort of circle. Again, if I plan it out better next time, and there will be a next time, then I can align my circles to the size I need. And you can tell I finally applied guidelines when I went out to these two lines. And that's what helped me keep these straight, but I was trying to compensate and left space here. So, all things are doable and accomplishable, really. It's just a matter of proper planning and knowing that sometimes, your piece is going to be a test piece. And that's what this one ended up being. I still think she ended up being beautiful, especially once I layered all of the different top dots on her. She turned out really, really pretty. But I think that for what I need to accomplish this next time, there are learnings that I can take away and apply to my bigger project, which here's the final piece. I'm referring to it as Teal Sunrise. I've also provided a view of what it would look like virtually. I just replicated and rotated that original view to give you a sense of what that final piece might look like. I think that for myself, it was really a lesson in don't give up. Even if you're somewhat disappointed as you're going along the way, you're not necessarily happy with it. There's so many opportunities to learn and grow. And I would just say keep going, because you never know when you end up with something absolutely beautiful.